I'm Glen Tickle. Here's why 12 men volunteered to eat poison with every meal. A lot of people are worried about chemicals in their food. Things like dyes, artificial flavors, and stabilizers like carboxymethylcellulose can sound frightening, but like the dentist and marathon man asked,
is it safe?
in modern times, government regulations closely monitor what goes into our food, so for the most part we can assume that yes, it's safe.
It's very safe. So safe you wouldn't believe it.
But that wasn't always the case. There was a time in the United States where you could buy morphine for your teething baby, or order cocaine through the Sears catalog. You know, for pep. And you could do this because there were no federal laws to stop you. And at the time, food producers were trying to cut costs by using non-food ingredients like sawdust, chalk, and sand. And nastier things like formaldehyde and sulfuric acid were also being used at the time as food preservatives. Fun fact, formaldehyde is still used as a preservative today, but to preserve dead bodies and not food. In the late 19th century, a hero arose, and Dr. Harvey W. Wiley made it his mission to put an end to these dangerous practices by asking lawmakers to make laws. In 1902, after decades of work, Dr. Harvey assembled a crack team for what he called the Hygienic Table Trials, but that's a boring name, so the press just called them the Poison Squad. This was a team of 12 men who volunteered to eat increasing levels of potentially poisonous ingredients with every single meal for 6 months at a time, just to see what would happen. Everything these men ate and drank had to be carefully prepared and monitored in the lab, as was everything they put out. Daily urine and stool samples were collected as part of the rigorous examination the squad went through to measure the effects of the poisons on their bodies. They even had their own slogan, which was, "None but the brave can eat the fair," and they quickly became a media sensation. People wrote poems, songs, even variety acts about them. Dr. Wiley himself wrote some poems about the squad as a way to promote his own work. As to be expected, the men of the Poison Squad experienced a range of symptoms, everything from indigestion to being bed-stricken for days. That one was from the formaldehyde. But remarkably, none of the members of the Poison Squad died. I mean, this was in 1902, so yes, they've since died, but none of them died as a result of the experiment, which again was to eat poison every meal for 6 months. Their service led to the passage of the Pure Food and Drug Act in 1906, and eventually to the formation of the Food and Drug Administration, which is what monitors food safety today. So the next time you eat or drink something that's not full of actual poison, thank the Poison Squad and Dr. Wiley. I'm Glen Tickle, and that's why a group of men volunteered to eat poison for every meal. This was probably fine, though.